Welcome, welcome! It's Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy, bringing you another Star Citizen video. And today I thought we would talk about the roadmap, Roundup, and maybe briefly about Star Citizen Live. What has changed on the roadmap is kind of important. And again, there's going to be a lot of disappointment by some folks. It's another Friday with some more delays. And you got to understand that these delays are definitely based off of the COVID-19 pandemic. And it's caused issues because all of our devs are working from home. Our devs, CIG's devs, are working from home. And so with them working from home, some of them have bandwidth limits, and they're not able to upload everything they need or download everything they need without hitting those bandwidth limits. So that's part of the issue that's causing those problems. Of course, it's a lot harder to communicate. It's a lot harder to work with different builds for everybody. So don't be overly upset about it. I'm frustrated. Yes, I am. I know some of you are going to be absolutely furious. I know some people in my org are furious, but what can you do? They're trying to do the best they can with what they have, and right now they just don't have what they're used to. So let's give them a break. I know I say that often, but I mean, really, what all can they do? When they're working from home and they're without the tools that they normally have. They don't have the ability to download builds and all of that they would normally be able to do. So with that, let's talk about the roadmap Roundup. So they've only listed a few things on this week's edition. One of them being the NPC Scheduler. So that's what that is when they spawn and despawn NPCs. They're going to have their own jobs, their own tasks that they do throughout the day. They'll walk around, they interact with things. You may see some of them shopping, cleaning, etc. We haven't seen any of that for a long time, or pretty much ever. So they are going to bring that in, my guess is, with server meshing. The reason why you don't see the NPC stuff working is just because it's so taxing on a server. But when they have meshing in, each server can be responsible for its amount of NPCs. They're going to break up all the tasks and make it a lot easier for all the different servers to handle such a big load. So my guess is it will not come in until 4.0. At least that's kind of what they've been saying. They've renamed 4.0 to 3.10 and 3.11. So they've even delayed 4.0. And what I think we're going to see in 4.0 is server meshing. It's going to be Pyro. It's going to be probably even Terra. You're going to see like 4 or 5 systems. This is totally a guess, by the way. It's total speculation. I have no proof of that. But I don't think we're going to see Pyro or any other system until 4.0 because they have to have server meshing in. This is a must-have for our game to work the way that they want it to have all the stuff that they've built that we can't see yet because the server can't handle it. So yeah, I mean, all the 30K errors and stuff, the server's getting overloaded, guys. There's just too much going on. It can't keep track of everything, and that's causing a lot of these 30K issues and a lot of these other bugs. So they're having to scale back some of the things that we get to see within the server while we're playing, just so we can actually play it. I mean, you guys comment down below. Do you wish that maybe they would take out, a planet, Microtech and its moons, or a couple of planets, or have separate servers right now that you could play only on a couple planets? Like one is Crusader and Hurston, and the other is Microtech and ArcCorp. Of course, I think that would be nearly impossible for them to do at the moment, but let's just speculate some more. Would you rather them have something like that where you have to choose which server to be on, which planets that you want to play around, so you can get more out of it, so you can see all the things that they've been working on? Or would you rather them, take them out completely, where, we have less planets but more stuff going on? Or, are you happy with the way that things are, where they're just pushing the line of what the server can do and waiting until server meshing's in before they include all the stuff that they've been working on for us to see? you guys give me your thoughts and opinions on that. I'm ambivalent in this case. I mean, I want to see all this stuff, but I will be pleasantly surprised if 4.0, when it comes out, my guess is going to be next year now, or the end of this year. If they come out with that and we get like 3 or 4 systems, we get the NPC Scheduler where they're all walking around and doing stuff, it's going to be a much more alive and it's going to draw us in a little bit more into the world around us. And that's my opinion. I can't wait for that. Obviously, I have to wait, and so do you. But that's my thoughts on, you know, the whole renaming of 3.10, 3.11 from 4.0 and 4.1, and, you know, what I think for 4.0, what's going to happen. So, also something else they've been talking about in the roadmap roundup is the shield system tech replacement. So that the shields, the way they work right now, they're a bubble, and there's a lot of ships that have shield holes. So you may be flying along and you start getting shot at, and all of a sudden your ship turns red, but your shields aren't really going down. Most likely they are shooting you in a shield hole. That should not be there. They have to fix this, and the way that they're doing is they're redoing the shield system. So that was supposed to be in 4.0. That has changed. They've temporarily removed it from the schedule because they don't have the people who are working on it. Those are the ones that don't have the bandwidth to work on that and make it happen. Unfortunately, you know, those guys on that team, they may live in an area where their internet service provider doesn't offer them enough bandwidth to upload, download builds all the time and work on the shield tech. So understandable that that could be delayed because of that. It sucks. I was really looking forward to the new shield tech. Now we have to wait. FPS, realistic weapon handling. So they said that everything that's involved with making this a reality has increased. In other words, they found some new things that they need to make this happen, and it's going to be a little bit more involved than they originally thought. So they've adjusted the deadline so that the team can complete it. So that card has also been temporarily removed from the roadmap until they can determine exactly where it's going to come in. So my guess is when it comes in, it'll just kind of pop up, like we'll get like 2 or 3 weeks before the patch that it comes in, and they'll say, hey, well, yeah, we got this realistic weapon handling now. Check it out. So that's what I would imagine will happen with the FPS realistic weapon handling in a future update or future patch. The ocean shader improvements. So they have added this to the 3.10 column, and it's being polished. So it's ready to go. And really all this is how the ocean reacts to lighting, different lighting effects. You know, they've changed the way that works and how it, you know, if you're flying over an ocean, how it'll look really cool. You know, this game always looks really pretty, especially with the reflections and stuff. I really can't wait to see how the ocean shader improvements work and what it looks like. So they've also said they've updated the images on the roadmap for the Lightning Bolt Company's Electron Sniper Rifle, Electron Pistol, and the Clausen Warner Mass Drivers, which are being redone, which most people will notice in 3.9 the mass drivers have been nerfed a little bit. So expect in the coming months when it gets revised, it may go back to being a pretty solid weapon. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. And then they also added the image for Eddie Parr, which is the mission giver at Microtech. He works in Wally's Bar. He's the head bartender there. He's also somewhat of a smuggler. So we'll get to see him in 3.10, along with some extra shops and stuff there as well. They've also moved a couple more cards into polishing, and that's the FPS cover usage version 1 and combat weapon types. Mostly this is for NPCs, but it can affect player characters, as if we get close to an object, it may take cover automatically for us. That would be really nice. I would like that. I don't know about you. But yeah, the NPCs are supposed to start taking cover and pick the correct weapons to use. So if it's long range, they may pull out a sniper rifle if they have it. If it's super close range, a shotgun or a pistol. So they're supposed to use the weapons more intelligently. But let's get more specific with some of the cards that they have showing on the roadmap. Eddie Parr is 39 out of 50. New Babbage shop additions. They're adding some new shops and some souvenir shop type places. Just what we need, right? Souvenirs. It's 11 out of 23. Grim Hex improvements is 41 out of 65. What are they doing to Grim Hex? They're going to add bigger hangars so that you can actually spawn bigger ships there, which is needed. And I imagine they'll probably eventually add like a refinery deck or something like that. It would make sense. Then on the AI side, you've got the combat weapon types polishing, cover usage polishing. We already talked about that. Elevator panel updates. It still says it's scheduled. My guess is that's a lot further along than the roadmap shows. Then new targeting methodology. A lot of people are looking forward to this. What that really entails is how the targets are tracked on your screen with the UI updates, because they're also going to do a ship HUD rework, which is only 2 out of 8, but it's supposed to be using the new building block system that they have. That will work in conjunction with the new targeting methodology. And guys, this could be really huge, especially for all the fixed gun lovers out there. I'm a fixed gun lover. I love flying with fixed guns on my ship. Auto gimbals, I think, is a good way to cheat. But I mean, that's the meta right now. You have to use it or you're not going to win too many battles, period. So everybody's using it. But when they rework the targeting and the HUD, I'm hoping this fixes fixed guns and they'll go back to fixed and gimbal. I really wish everything was fixed, to be honest. But they will probably go back to fixed and gimbal like they originally had. And hopefully fixed guns will be a lot more accurate, and you guys can go back to using those fixed loadouts. It's showing 14 out of 17 on the targeting methodology. So let's hope that that's what that does and it improves fixed gunnery. I hope and pray that that's what it's going to do, because I want to go back to using fixed guns. Body dragging is 13 out of 20. I don't know why we're going to be able to pull people out of danger when we can't heal them. That's my personal opinion. We should be able to heal them before we can pull them out of danger. That way, if they go down, you pull them out of danger, stick a needle in them, and they're good to go. But yeah, it's a stepping stone, I guess, and eventually it'll get there. High speed combat is 9 out of 10. I believe that was supposed to be in 3.9 before, and it got pushed back. It's been 9 out of 10 for as long as I can remember. So they're still working on it. Ship HUD rework is 2 out of 8. We mentioned that. The law system version 2 is surrendering is 3 out of 6. So they're only about halfway done with it. Restricted area rework is 8 out of 12. They've been working on that several patches. It slipped from 3.9 to 3.10. So hopefully that'll get rid of some of those restricted areas around ArcCorp and Hurston and you know, those places like that, to where you could fly anywhere you want. You can get some great visuals there. Hopefully you don't run into any buildings. But yeah, the Drake Cutlass Blue says 2 out of 10. I know they're much further along than that. As well as the Origin M50, it shows 0 out of 8. I believe they're further along in its update as well than what the roadmap shows. Lightning gun, 17 out of 25 on the sniper rifle. The ballistic SMG from Gemini, the C54, that one's 18 out of 26. The lightning bolt electron pistol is 16 out of 26. Klaus and Warner mass drivers are 21 out of 30, so they're almost done with those. That'll be in 310. Ocean shader improvements is polishing, and the height map improvement shows 1 out of 17, but I know they're further along than that. Now on to 311. Refinery deck is scheduled but not started, at least not shown on the roadmap. We know that they've started on that. Cargo deck is 10 out of 17, and the visuals for that look pretty awesome. I'm liking what I've seen so far. You guys can look that up as well. Ship AI, hazard awareness and avoidance, that is scheduled. FPS combat improvements and polishing scheduled. This is getting ready for Squadron 42. Improved throw, 6 out of 10. That's going to be important for the grenade launch. Luckily, in 3.9, we haven't had any issues where grenades just fall at your feet. At least I haven't had that, so they've fixed some of that. Object push and pull is scheduled. Missile operator mode scheduled. Docking scheduled. Death animation improvement scheduled. I know the docking, they've actually worked a little bit on that, so it's just not showing there. Ships and vehicles, Mercury Star Runners, 9 out of 99. I'm willing to bet we're going to see the Hercules probably in 311 as well. There are good ways on that one, so expect probably more than just the Star Runner. We may actually get 3 Mercury, three Crusader ships, but we'll have to see. The Grey Cat multi-tool cutting attachment is getting its rework and functionality put in as well, but it's scheduled and not been worked on. The GP33 grenade launcher from Bearing is 17 out of 31. They've been working on that for probably 4 or 5 patches for a year. Let's say that, for a year. Server to client actor network rework is 1 out of 3. I believe that's some of the server meshing and iCache stuff that they've talked about, so we can expect those coming out at 311, which is the 3rd quarter of this year. Now, Squadron 42, they haven't really updated much on the roadmap for it. Sadly, they haven't in a long time. I mean, stuff like the Idris and the Javelin still show the same. All the Vandal ships are still showing the same stuff. They do show some other things that have completed, like conversation system, player status system obviously is completed. But mostly no major improvements in a lot of this stuff. Unfortunately, they're just not updating the roadmap for Squadron 42. But guys, tell me what you think about the roadmap Roundup. I know many of you are probably going to be frustrated, upset, really ticked off. I understand, but I also understand why things are delayed. It's unfortunate with, you know, the pandemic causing these problems, you know, where they all have to work from home, that, you know, this is what we have to live with. Hopefully all this stuff will pass pretty soon. I have a feeling it will, and people will be able to get back to work in their actual work environments, and that'll help a lot. Also, they talked about Gas Tech this week. They also talked about the music score, how each planet has its own music score, with Pedro, the guy who does all the music for Star Citizen. So those are kind of interesting. You guys can check those videos out as well from CIG. I don't want to bore you guys anymore with roadmap talk. I have my Prison Breakout video coming to you guys tomorrow. I don't know when. It might be in the evening. I've got to work on it. I'm going to try to get it in 4K if I can. It'll just be 1080p. It's really dark anyways, so you may not be able to see a whole lot. Just what's under the flashlight. But I was able to successfully do that with the help of Captain Jakes, who picked me up on the other end. It was a very frustrating experience. But I will bring that to you tomorrow. So guys, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. Hit that little bell icon to let you know when I do more of these videos. I appreciate everybody who's watched my videos over the last weeks, months. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. All my Patreon subscribers, thank you so much. I really do appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My YouTube members, thank you so much for subscribing and being members to my YouTube patronage, I guess you could say. I really do appreciate it. The starting level for that is now $2, so anybody can, you know, if you want to donate, I would be over the moon about that. Thank you so much. If you want to get into a really active org, my org is Texas. That information is going to be in the description of the video, as well as a referral code if you're interested in getting into this game. Now it's kind of a rough time, but it's still a really fun experience, especially when you're playing with others. Please use that referral code. You'll get 5,000 bonus credits if you do. And that's all I got for you today, guys. I'm Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy, and I'll see you out in the verse.